Hello, everyone. Welcome to the fifth episode of the Bigger Than Athletes podcast, a podcast that dives into the unseen side of the Division One student athlete life. My name is Jason Smith, and I'm your host. I'm a current Division One soccer player at Utah Valley University, and I'm majoring in communications. The purpose of this podcast is to uncover the stories of athletes across different sports and their experiences both on and off the playing surface. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Our guest is Loed Klaasen, a freshman midfielder on the Utah Valley men's soccer team, hailing from Amsterdam, Netherlands. Welcome, Loed. Of
Hi, Jason. Thank you for having me.
course, how's life going? How's being back home?
It's great. It's great to see my family again. I didn't see them for I think 5 months now, so it's great to see my friends, my family. Nice to be back home, so I enjoy it.
Of course, is it a little bit weird coming back home and just like everything being a little bit different and being used to the United States?
Yes, it is. Like the differences between like the Netherlands and the United States is very big. So when I came back home, there were like a lot of changes here. Um, so my dog, like, when I left home, my dog was like still a little puppy, and when I came back, he was like big, and it was crazy to see. And they're also like in the house here, so many things have changed. So yeah, it's weird coming back, but I like it.
Definitely. Do you have any siblings that you missed or that are still living at home?
Yeah, so my older sister didn't live at home when I left. So she lives in Amsterdam with some friends. But my little brother still lives here, so it was great seeing him again. He also grew a lot. Like that was crazy to see. Like he grew like I think a couple inches. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's also nice to see him again, and I missed him. So yeah, it's nice.
Definitely. Have your parents changed your room at all a little bit now you've moved out, or is it the same?
No, it's no, like they kept it the same. Like I told them when I left, you have to like keep my room the same because when I come back, I still need to have my own room and still need to chill. So
Uh-huh.
I'm happy they left it like it was. So that's nice.
Definitely. Yeah, maybe when your little brother moves out, they'll start changing all your guys' rooms so that they can have a nice little fitness studio and
I'm sure.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure they will. But right now, it's still the same. But like in the house, a lot of things still changed. Like some rooms have changed. Also because me and my sister are now out of the house. They have more space. They have more things to like improve. It's much cleaner when now I'm gone. So that's what they told me when I came back. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure when also my brother leaves, there will be some changes. But right now, it's still pretty much the same.
Nice, dude. Love to hear it. So, yeah, I just wanted to just kind of catch up with you because we haven't seen each other for a while, and also just hear more about your stories. So, I'd love to hear your early life story, just growing up in the Netherlands, and yeah, just let you just hear all about you, your family, and yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's actually a pretty funny story. I started playing soccer when I was, I think, 5 years old, and that's also when I started playing field hockey because my mom and dad were both field hockey players, so they kind of expected me from when I was born to be like a field hockey player, and that was always like in their mind. They didn't want me to become anything else. They just had field hockey in their mind because also they both were pretty good at field hockey. They played for the national team both. So yeah, it's not normal. Like it's not normal for this family to play soccer. So I played soccer and field hockey both. So when I was about I think 6 years old, they wanted me to only play field hockey. But like I hated field hockey, and they didn't talk to me about if I wanted to leave soccer and just play field hockey. They just I had no choice basically. So like the day they were like we're gonna put you off soccer. My mom, the mother of my best friend, she was like, no, just put him one more year in the soccer academy, just see how it goes. And on that year I got scouted for Ajax, where I played 10 years. So that was really crazy because if that mom of my best friend didn't like convince my parents to play one more year of soccer, maybe I would never play for Ajax. So I'm also really thankful for her. And that's like when I got the letter to play to like first. We had a tournament with my team. It's called HFC. We had a tournament at Ajax. And that's where I got scouted. I played very good at tournament, and I remembered I got a letter. I think when I was 7 years old, I got a letter from the youth academy from Ajax, and they told me I could like train with other guys and just scouting experience, just play games against other kids who also were scouted. And it was crazy because the first scouting sessions were there were like 1,800 kids, and from there you started with like 1,800 kids who were scouted and who got the same letter, and then it's becomes smaller and smaller, and eventually it becomes a team of like 10 kids, I believe. So my parents were like, that he will never get in there. It's only top 10, but it's nice for the experience. But I got further and further, and then I was at the last 15, and I got really nervous. And I still remember like getting the call from, yeah, you're in the top 10, so you're gonna go to Ajax. And I was so happy. It was one of the best experiences of my life. It was really great. So that's where it started. And then it started. I think I was 7 years old when I also came in the team. So yeah, it's one of the best experiences of my life. And further on in Ajax Youth Academy, I've experienced a lot. I've learned a lot. I would say one of the most like big experiences I had is we had so many like tournaments outside of my country. So we've almost been everywhere in Europe. Um, and at that age, it's crazy because even my parents and even my sister and brother have never seen so much. And I got an opportunity to see like almost everything. And I've even been to Qatar, and I've been to Africa, I believe, and also Asia one time. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Um, so yeah, I've played there for about 10 years, and I've learned a lot also as a person, like as not only soccer, but I've learned a lot as a person. You have to like um because I grew up in like a different neighborhood than some other kids. So you also see like different cultures and like different ways of how people communicate with each other and how people are and their religion. So that's also something that's really cool to see also at that young of an age. So that's also how I learned a lot. And I also played for the national team for the Netherlands. I think in the under 15, under 16s for about 2 years, and that was also a really great experience. I've played against Japan and against Japan, and I think it was France.
Mm-hmm.
So that was also really cool to see. I've experienced a lot. I've done a lot. Also, one thing what was really cool. Um, at the age of 12, you get the chance to like not everyone from the team, but like you get a chance to kick a ball up before the game in the arena in the stadium.
Mm.
And I was one of the lucky ones that could do that. So when I got the chance, I also became like third because there's like a ranking list who can do the most keep ups, and I became third. And after the season, you could like go into the locker rooms of the first team
Mm.
and meet some of the guys from the first team. So that was also really great.
Yeah.
So that was also really cool to see. And then I think only a year ago I left Ajax because it was the last youth team. The next step was going to be like the second team of Ajax, and it was a really big step. And there was a lot of like people in my position, and I talked with my parents about it, and I still think it was a bit better decision to go to the US, because my parents still think it's very important to do like soccer and education at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard in Europe to like soccer and education at the same time. So that's when like the US came to mind, because also not because of that, but also because my mother she did the same thing for field hockey because she was also good at field hockey. So it was always in my mind, and she talked about it a lot. So that was really why I went to the US, because it's a great opportunity, like with great chances. And Um, that's when I started talking with a business in the Netherlands. They're like a business webs. People go to the US to do like sports and help them get scholarships.
Mhm.
So that's where it started. And then all I had to do was send like compilations of my games and show them I could play soccer, and they made like a compilation, and they did all the work, and like they helped me get in contact with coaches and help me get to like talk to coaches. So that's how I started to talk to UVU, the coach of UVU, Alex. He contacted me first, and I started talking with him on Zoom and on Teams meeting, and that's like how it all started. I've also been to three schools because I was gonna choose between three schools. It was UVU, Iona College, and uh, we think Oregon State University,
Mhm.
and I all visited them over there with my dad because I still want to see it with my own eyes. Still had to see like the teammates, how it is there, the environment, because it was a big choice to go to the US and leave my parents. So I had to be sure. So that's why I first came to UVU, and I talked with Alex and Carl and some of the teammates, and I already had a really good feeling about it. So that was great. And then I went to Iona and Oregon, and it was also nice, but it was not the same. I think UVU was still, I had a better feeling about UVU, and I liked the teammates, I liked the staff, I liked everything. So that's eventually how I came to UVU. So that's my
Right.
story.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Um, yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about a little something that happened a little early, like the 1,800 kids that at 7 years old, all going to with only 10 spots left. And I think like it's really cool to see the difference between American soccer and in Europe, where at 7 years old in Europe, you're being pitted against each other trying to compete for 10 spots, and at 7 years
Yeah.
old in the United States, you're eating orange slices and Scooby snacks at halftime and having fun. Scores fun to fun. But no, that's fascinating, and especially your travels as well as you grew up in the academy, along with you were playing with players that were not only from the Netherlands but also around the world and are immigrants or players from different places, but also you traveling, you were really exposed to a wide worldview of both Europe, Africa, and Asia, which I think is which also really helped you in your transition to the United States because you had so many international experiences. If you just grew up in the Netherlands and never left, I think coming to anywhere else outside would be a very difficult experience.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And also like I've never expected to like you talked about the 1,800 kids. I've never expected to get chosen because it's crazy. Like first day I came there, it was crazy to see so many kids. Everyone has so much talent, and it was just crazy to experience that, and also like be lucky enough to like actually get into the team and meet so many people, see so many players and people, and like the differences in cultures. It was crazy because I like where I grew up. It's like really everyone's. I don't want to say like rich, but like it was like wealthy, and then you had like people who worked really hard to get there, and with parents who struggled. So it also made me like appreciate like other things in life, and also like and also seeing like those kids, they also got to travel like to different countries, and they've never flew in a plane before, so that was also great to see. And yeah, it's just it's I'm just very lucky to get that opportunity and to experience all those type of things. So I'm just very grateful and lucky.
Definitely, yeah. So my question with those 1,800 kids, of course, 10 got selected from to just be part of the U8 squad or U9 squad at Ajax. People sometimes like compare European sport setups with American setups, and like how there's so many kids, but it seems that there are a lot less development opportunities for United States kids, so as in a direct pathway to professional level for how many kids that play. And of course, in the Netherlands, there's a lot more professional teams, even though there's a lot of players who play. Out of those 1,800, how much would you guess, even though 10 made to Ajax, how many other kids do you think like went to other professional academies, even though they got invited to Ajax? I mean, how many do you think went to other places?
I think out of those 1,800, I think at least maybe 100, 200 kids maybe. Like it's hard to say because I didn't know all of them, but I've known some kids who also went to like who I played in the same team with, and then they went to other professional soccer clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I don't know exactly, but it's hard to say. But I know like it's like the soccer world. It's crazy. It can go any direction, and it also has to deal with luck, and you just have to be lucky. And I don't know. I still think also because here it's like soccer is like very popular, and everything is about soccer here, and the sport is like really big. Um, so that's also maybe why there's more attention to like little kids and youth academies over here. So maybe that's why the chance to get noticed here is maybe bigger, because there are more scouts. They put more effort in it, and there, yeah, I think it's hard to say because I know the US, like the US, the soccer in the US is growing, but it's still not the biggest sport, and still not many people watch it. So I think eventually US will get to the same level, but right now there's just over here in Europe, there's just more attention, more love for the game. So that's also why people like young guys like to play soccer instead of play basketball or anything else, and that's also why there's like more professional soccer players over here, I think.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So I think the interesting thing as well is I kind of want to dive into your experience being at the club now. Is um, so when you're there, when you get in at 8 years old, there's no guarantee. You could only be there for a year at the most, and they could just be okay. We're done with you. So how would you say you dealt with one? How did you set yourself up from when you were 9 years old all the way up to 17? Um, of keeping your level high, of staying within the program? Like, what were the kind of things that you did to make sure that you were always at top level? And what was it like um, seeing friends or seeing teammates kind of like leave year after year and you just staying through that whole time? What was that experience like?
Yeah, so like with the pressure, I was just really lucky to have like really good parents, because at the beginning of like going to Ajax, the first thing they told me was like we're really very proud of you. Like don't feel like you've already accomplished to get to those first stands. So we're really proud of you, and the most important thing is just to have fun. Um, and that's also like what really helped me, because I just knew my parents, like they supported me no matter what, and they told me to have fun, and that's also like really important to hear as a kid, to like have fun, and that's also what really helped me. So I played with like fun, and I was just lucky enough to get the opportunity to get to play for Ajax. So I just gave it all I got. And yeah, what you said about friends, like it's hard because you see your friends leave, and also when you go to like high school and school, you see also all your friends go to parties and have fun, and you need to have the discipline to like go to training every day, sleep on time. You don't have to, you can drink, you can do anything. So it's hard to see, and it's hard to like also see friends leave from Ajax. But I also know like I have one goal in my mind, that just want to become a professional soccer player. And if you want to have those goals and that mindset, you need to have discipline, and you have to know what you do it for. And of course there are sacrifices, but at the end of the day, I know what I want. I just want to go to the first spot, to be a professional football player. So yeah, it's hard, but as a kid and growing up, it's my passion. It's the only thing I want to do. So that's what I always kept in mind.
Definitely, yeah, and everything that's everybody that I've had a conversation with has had to sacrifice something to get to where they are right now. So like with Abel and Irwin and for myself, it was leaving home at 15, 16 years old to leave family to go explore opportunities elsewhere because the place we were at didn't have the opportunities that we need to go on and succeed. The other guys right now, it's sacrificing being away from family to go to college far away, or financially, just different types of sacrifices, and it really I think like a lot of people want the glamour. They see the shine of Division 1 student athlete or professional athlete, but they don't see the lonely nights and the boring lifestyle of just not really doing. They're like yeah, let's go out and do something, but or like when you say you can't do things, like oh you're so boring and you never have fun,
Yeah,
like and they don't really understand the amount of sacrifice, the amount of attention to detail that you have to every little part of your performance. So you definitely embody that, and you were exposed at a young age. To you, it's probably just second nature now. Just this is what you need to do to succeed.
for sure. Yeah. And also like at the beginning, I still had like a lot of friends who didn't have the same mindset. They were all about like having fun and going to party. And what you said, like, oh, you're so boring. But yeah, they just don't get it. Like they didn't grow up with the same mindset. Maybe they don't have the same goals. So that's also why at a certain age I just started hanging out with people with like the same mindset. That's also why most of my best friends are like people who are like or played in my team, for example, or played another sport with like the same mindset and had the same goal. So yeah, at some point I didn't really have like it didn't really bother me because I had such good friends who like also supported me and I supported them. So yeah, it's I'm really grateful to have them as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why it was easier for me.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I kind of want to transition to UVU. You dove into having a scholarship agency get you to UVU and get connected with Alex and come on a visit. I remember, I think I was like going out to train, and you and your dad like were showing through the locker room. I was coming to just pick up balls, and I got
True,
my first tattoo, and like, I just walked in. I expected nobody to be
true.
there, and Alex and you like right there with your dad. I was like, oh, hi guys. Like it was so I remember it being so weird, but like I remember Alex telling me like, yeah, like that guy's from Ajax. I was like, oh crap, like straight from the Netherlands. And so no, I was really excited when I heard you committed and you were coming in the summer, and then you came out. And yeah, I just want to hear about your first experience, your first college season, your first college semester. How was life different, both on the field and off the field, and what were some things that you enjoyed and disliked about your college experience so far?
Yeah, it was crazy when I first came here because also like the culture differences are crazy compared to like Europe and my country. So when I first came like to the US, school didn't start and soccer didn't start. So I was a little bit lost. And my roommates are Diego and Mark, and Nate wasn't there already. So at the beginning, it was like a bit, I didn't really know what to think because they were like talking Spanish to each other. I didn't like really know where I was. And I was a bit like, did I make the right decision? Is this like the right choice for me? But eventually Nate came and we started playing soccer with the team. I met all the guys on the team and I instantly knew like this is a great team. I love the guys. Um, and also like the school experience is crazy. Because like the biggest difference here is like everything's so big, the schools are big, the stores are big, the food is crazy. So that was also crazy to see and like really fun. But because also like I had like expectations because growing up you watch, of course you watch like those typical high school musical movies and those those movies about America. So like I was like I knew a little bit what to expect, but actually being there yourself and experience it yourself and those schools and the different mindset from people over there is also crazy. So um yeah, it was really fun. Like when I look back at like those 5 months at U of U, I had one of the best times of my life. I met a lot of like really good friends. I made some really good friends. I met a lot of good people. So yeah, I'm really glad I made the decision to go to U of U. Um, and you also talked about like what I regret or something or
What were some things
what
you
did
enjoyed and some things that you didn't like as much, or things that you expected but weren't as great?
I didn't like as much. I don't know, maybe at the beginning, like living on my own, maybe because like I was used to like always getting my food from my parents and them doing my laundry and them cooking for me. So
Yeah.
like when I first started living on my own, I had to get used to that because I had to cook for myself all the time. I had to do my own laundry. So at the beginning I was like, this is maybe hard. I don't want to do it all the time, but eventually you just get used to it and you just have to do it. So that was maybe one thing, but also like I'm glad because at some point you just have to do it, and I'm also really happy with my roommates because they also help me a lot with those things. So yeah, I think that's like the one thing that was I was like, I didn't like that so much, but anything else, it was great.
Definitely. How would you say with your first college soccer season? I know there's a lot to adjust to. Of course, you said like off the field, it's difficult to adjust to having to balance school, the travel of soccer, and social life, and living on your own, all your own personal responsibilities. What were the adjustments on the field that you had to make compared to coming from Europe to American soccer?
On the field.
Yeah, on the field.
Yeah, so when I first came here and started playing soccer, like the first big difference I noticed was like the altitude, like the difference in height or in like the air.
Mhm.
Because like the Netherlands is like below sea level, and then you come to Utah in the mountains, and it was really hard breathing, and I had like trouble with like running a lot. So that was like the main difference. And also like on the field, at Ajax we play a lot of like positioning, and we pass the ball a lot, and that's all we do, like really. And when you go to like college soccer, it's a big difference because they're like big guys. They go to the gym. It's just long balls, so it's more physical and they run a lot more. So I think that's like like the biggest difference for me, like the physical part. But so, and also like at the beginning I had trouble with like adjusting to that because I've played at ice for almost 10 years. So coming from that to like a totally different play style and yeah, like physical challenge, it was difficult and different, but eventually I got used to it and I got better at the end of the season. So I'm happy with that. So yeah.
Definitely, I totally agree that you came in and you started the first couple of games of the season, and I thought you did well, but there were
Yeah.
definitely learning moments of, yeah, like I think for me, like I came from an academy as well where I played very possessive style where it wasn't very long ball. So my first college season, it was adjustment. It was just like by the end of the season, I kind of got it, but learning how to manage the game, learning how to okay, everybody get up, let's go there, or okay, now it's time to play short, especially under a coach like Kyle, where it's kind of a mix to you have some freedom, but he
Yeah.
wants a certain kind of freedom. So I definitely agree that beginning you did well. Then there was some tough moments this season where coaches kind of left you out of the squad or stuff like that, and you really took it well. You took it on the chin. You were very mature. Where a lot of times you'd see guys who were younger, if they didn't get their way, they'd be annoyed, frustrated. Okay, be
Yeah.
annoyed, frustrated, but you'd see it, and for you really handle like a professional, which I really saw. And by the end of the season, you came in and you really adjusted. And by the end of the season, I thought you were one of the top players in the team because you not only did you have the quality on the ball, but you had the quality to put hard tackles in, to win headers, to communicate. And I think that I admire that so much because, like you said, at Ajax, you are from when you're 8 years old to 18, you're playing a certain way that I think you had different head coaches come in and out, so things would probably change a little bit in terms of style, but for the most part, it was pretty similar. You're playing the way the first team plays for your whole life. So it's in your DNA. It's your second nature, and you come here, and most of that is kind of thrown out the window. You have some similar ideas. Okay, you have like you kind of the same idea. Okay, the ball needs to be switched, or we need to look into the better spaces, but it's like it's like a whole different game when you step into American college soccer. So I
Yeah.
think you adjusted really well by the end of the season.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. What you said, yeah, it was hard, like coming from like starting games to like not starting at all and not playing like that many minutes. It was hard, of course, but I've always had um like mindset to just keep going. Also at Ajax for like playing that many years at Ajax, you just need to have like a good mindset and know where you play for. So I always kept it in mind, and I knew my qualities, and I just kept working hard, and eventually like they noticed that. So I'm happy. I'm happy I did better at the end of the season, and they saw that And now I just want to improve more, like be better next season, like have a bigger impact for the team and really show them what I can do. And that's like the most important thing for me. Show them what I can do. That's it.
100%. And I'm excited to see you do that, Lid. Yeah. So, kind of moving a little bit away from soccer. As you came to the United States, or of course, you kind of mentioned a little bit earlier that your parents were into field hockey. Do you have like any hobbies or things that you really enjoy outside of football or outside of soccer?
Yeah, so I never really enjoyed field hockey. I don't know why, but my parents were like really good at it and they always pushed me to like play it, but it was never my thing. But I really enjoy doing like other sports with friends, other activities. Like growing up, I've done a lot of sports. I've been on tennis, swimming lessons, field hockey, skiing lessons, much more. And I've enjoyed all of those sports, and I always like doing things, being active with friends, going somewhere. Right now, I really enjoy playing paddle. You know paddle?
I don't think so.
Paddle. It's like a little bit the same as pickleball. I know you know
Okay.
pickleball.
Yeah.
It's like in those glass
Oh
cages.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's called racquetball. Racquetball is what I've heard it called.
Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe that's the word. But I enjoy doing that. I still enjoy playing tennis. Really anything like with a ball.
Hmm.
I like anything with a ball. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah. So you're just the athlete type. Just if you can play sport, get me playing.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, I have to admit though, but when I came back like from the US to like the Netherlands, I was really tired, so I didn't really do anything for like the next week because also like the time difference and
Yep.
just being exhausted. I just had to like lay down and just take it easy. But yeah, when I get the time and when I have enough energy, I like going out with friends and just play soccer on my own and just kick a ball or do anything else. And that's where I get the most joy from, just being with friends, like having fun, kicking around. And that's the most important thing for me, just having fun with friends.
100%. Yeah. So, kind of our last little segment. What's kind of your plan for this off season break, this holiday period, um,
Mhm.
in terms of like your training, hanging out, and like when do you plan on coming back to UVU for the spring?
Yeah, so I come back, I think, around January 8th because the classes start January 9th, so I have to be there the day before. And the most important thing for me is just stay fit. I talked with Alex and Carl before I left, and I had a really good conversation with them, and they also told me like the biggest improvement I need to make is just be more explosive. So just go to the gym a little bit more. Um, just look at my food schedule. Just be aware of what I eat. So the most important thing for me is just be really fit when I come back. Go to the gym a lot, but also exercise. Um, Notice on what I eat, and also like really important, just hang out with friends, have fun, of course, and be as much with the family as I can. But it's like you have to like do both things and like focus on like soccer and still your sport, and just focus on being fit, but also focus on your family and enjoy being with them and enjoy being with your friends. So it's like both things I'm trying to do right now. So that's pretty much it.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm glad that you gotta do that. You're able to do both, and to be able to do that is really important. So you not only keep your body sharp, but also your mind and your health of your own energy. So yeah, but I just want to thank you, Lud, for hopping on to this podcast and giving us your time today. It's a little bit early for me, but it's in the afternoon for you. But I appreciate
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. It was nice.
Yeah, it was really fun. Really nice to have a conversation. Miss you, man, and I'm excited to see you in
Still.
January. But just for everybody listening, just want to thank you for listening to the fifth episode of the Bigger Than Athletes podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you soon.